Welcome to Coach on the Couch. I'm your host, Steve Maves, here with Assumption Boys basketball coach Josh Paltz. Coach, another winter, another year, another high school basketball season. It's my favorite time of the year. I absolutely love basketball. I know you do too. Obviously, you're a coach, and remind people how long you've been coaching and how long you've been the head coach here for the boys.
Yeah, so this is my 8th year as a coach at Assumption. 5 years with girls squad, and this is my 3rd year as head boys. Obviously went to high school here, so yeah, it's time flies when you're having fun. But you're right, this is the best time of the year.
Absolutely, and before we jump ahead to this year, a look back at last year, it was a fun ride at the end. Obviously, a nice road win at Wild Rose in the playoffs. Ryan Shaw got 1,000 points, and then you just ran into the eventual state champion Newman Catholic, but gave them a ride in Wausau at the end.
Yeah, last year was fun. It's what you hope for as a coach is to get better as the year goes on and playing your best ball come February, March, and that's what we did with that group. And yeah, to get our first playoff win since 2018, I think it was, if I remember correctly, and then to give Newman a run for their money. And yeah, they had a nice squad. I mean, that was one of the better squads I've seen in years in Division 5, and yeah, we didn't back down. It was a fun ride. Yeah, it was.
Yeah, and a great bunch of seniors in that group. We saw it in all the sports, football, basketball, baseball, for that senior crew. Just talk about, I know we talked a little bit about it at the end of the year. I still have it as a picture on social media of you choking up a little bit about how special that senior class was.
Yeah, they were. As most of you guys know, I've coached them since they were pretty young in all different kind of sports. And when I took over, when they were juniors, we had to turn a lot of things around. I mean, we totally got a new offense, new defense, just a new culture around here. And for those boys to flip the switch like they did and to buy in and to play hard for me, and the relationships we built will be there forever. And I'll never forget that group.
Absolutely, and now stepping forward this year, a couple of seniors. Just looked on the roster from last night. A lot of underclassmen, obviously. Just talk about this year's crew a little bit and the guys that you got coming to play.
Sure. Yeah. So we got 2 seniors, Jack Wiedemeyer and Manny Schultz. Jack ended up being a starter for us late in the season last year. Manny didn't see a ton of time, and we'll definitely be leaning on their leadership. We have 1 junior on the whole roster and the whole program, Owen Hagen, and we expect big things out of him this year to help us out. And then, we're pretty young. And then we go to 4 sophomores. We'll have about 5 or 6 sophomores on varsity, but we're going to be starting 4 sophomores here at the beginning of the year. And we got 4 freshmen sitting there on the bench. They're not going to see the floor a ton, but they're there to get the experience and to get better. And as the year goes on, people will say, Assumption beat who? Yeah. And then at times they're going to say, Assumption lost to who? That's the joy of coaching youth. Yeah. But I'm excited. We have the chance to be the best team since I've taken over. We have a ton of talent, not a ton of experience. Led by JT Schlafer, a sophomore. We have obviously high hopes for him, and he has high expectations for himself as well. A couple newcomers, obviously, like Chase Lieberg, he's never played varsity before. Ron Board, Logan Nystrom. So a lot of these kids are very talented. They're very young. So as the season goes on, we'll continue to grow and continue to get better. But overall, we're very excited where we're at as a program.
And kind of piggybacking off of that, a lot of the similarities, I guess, on the football side of things, a lot of these younger guys just get thrown in with the Wolves, and that's kind of the same result here this year.
Yeah, it is. Like I said, we have 2 returning varsity players, and Jeff had probably 4. Including the football, the basketball, 11 to 5 man. It's about the same, And you saw them get better as the year went on, and like I said, it's fun as a coach to see even day 1 through day 10 probably by now, see how much better they're getting. So from November to January, February, where things really start getting amped up, it'll be a fun group to watch.
And you talk about the expectations for JT, and we've seen it. I mean, last year he stepped up so big as a freshman, and again, going back kind of the football season, being the quarterback of this basketball team now, what are your hopes that JT can have the leadership on this team?
Yeah, first off, any people like you and others that are listening to remind me that he's 15, 16 years old still, that he still is a sophomore and a young pup. But with that being said, he is, I've known JT since he was in like 6th grade. He's probably more mature than most parents out there. He's extremely coachable. Love the kid to death. You know, he stares me in the eyes when I'm talking to him. He listens. He knows what I expect out of him. And this year, I just don't want him doing too much. You know, there's going to be a target on his back for the next 3 years. He's put the work in. He's just got to trust his work, trust his teammates, trust the coaches, and he'll be just fine.
Again, leaning on the sophomores and freshmen, a couple of seniors and the junior. Talk about the newcomers. You got a transfer coming in, and from what I saw and what expectations are pretty high.
Yeah, Logan, he can shoot it. There's no doubt. We're very excited about Logan. We're very happy that his family moved back to Rapids, and they chose to come back to Assumption, which is nice. But yeah, if you don't think we're not excited about the future, we're pretty excited about the future. So if you can start 4 sophomores, that most likely means you're going to start 4 juniors, and by the time they're seniors, we're going to be pretty good. But again, you got to put the work in. Nothing's going to be handed to you. But we have a group of kids that want to be good. They are very coachable. They all like each other. You know, it's a tight group. In the freshman class, we are extremely high on. It's probably one of the better freshman classes we've had, and they have a chance to be better than the sophomore class. We just got to put some things together. There's some height there. Parker Ruink, he's about 6'2" right now. He's going to be helping us out before you know it. J.J. Oswald, Cam Martin, I mean, you name it, go down the list. Trey France, they're all going to be studs at one day, you know, but small steps. 2 years from now, we'll have a problem. It's a good problem to have.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, and the one thing that I was really impressed with, a school of this size, 120 kids in the high school, with co-op for hockey, wrestlers, and basketball as well on the boys' side. Just how many the numbers that you have this year.
Yeah. Like I said, numbers are a good thing. You know, we do have 3 teams this year. Last year we had 3 teams for a little bit till we got a little injury bug. But this year we have full JV2 schedule. I enjoy coaching, you know, and I want the kids to enjoy playing basketball. Now, winning is what we expect to do, but having fun is right there next to it, if not the next most important thing. And that's the culture we're building here. And, you know, it's fun to see kids having fun. It's fun to walk up to the gym first day and have a full gym full of kids and youth, and there's talent. I like what we're building, and it's not just me. Credit to all the coaches that help out, the parents, the school, Coach Burkhauser. I mean, everyone is all in this together, and I just get the label as head coach, I guess.
Yeah, and it's obviously a very important label because you take all the brunt of all the criticism as well. But again, we continuously pound on Zaleski sports anyway, just how good the Marrowood is in every sport. I mean, it's a broken record after a while, but top to bottom again this year, one of the top conferences not just in the area, but in the state again.
Yeah, and I love it. I absolutely love it. Like I said, I played it for 4 years, girls side, boys side, now coaching. It's loaded, and it's always going to be loaded. It's the bottom line. We are the best small division conference in the state of Wisconsin. There's no debate. Yeah. You know, people can debate all you want. It doesn't matter what sport it is. I mean, we win state titles after state titles and state titles. I mean, you saw in football, you saw in cross country. You're going to see it in basketball, baseball. I mean, it's just over and over again. Marathon. You know, they're going to be tough as nails. Auburn is going to be tough as nails. Stratford. You know, Edgar's always gritty. They got a couple new coaches this year, so it'll be interesting to see how they are. Newman's a little down this year, but they're still going to be talented. They got some big kids over there. Overall, it gets you better. You know, like people always ask, would you be interested in going to a different conference? No, I don't want to be. You know, we don't want to. Sure, and it's not a knock to top. I mean, last night we saw Port Edwards, obviously. They're very talented. And it's not a diss. It's just we would rather play the Marathons, the Auburns, Stratfords, and, you know, if we get our butts kicked once in a while, that's only going to get us better down the road. And come playoff time, we expect them to take the next step. So, it's a gauntlet, and I never want to get out of it. We love it. We embrace it, and that's what you have to do.
And expectations with a young squad is tough to start off, but obviously you and the guys always have high expectations going into the year. Besides getting better, the coach talk, as you say, getting better from the start of the season to the end of the season, what are expectations for the Assumption Royals this year?
Yeah, you know me, I hate losing. It's just the bottom line. I just cannot stand losing. You want to be better than you were the year before, and I'm a pretty optimistic guy. And these kids worked really hard. We'll see if it pays off this year. Middle of the pack of the Marywood's the goal. Do we have a legit shot at winning it this year? Probably not. But we're going to go into every game expecting to win. The kids are going to work their tails off for me. I'm going to coach my tail off for them, and we'll see what happens. Non-conference schedule, for the most part, it's pretty stacked for us. We're playing really good teams. Down the road here, we got Kohler coming to town. They're going to be a powerhouse in D4 this year. It would be really nice. We won one playoff game last year. Let's win two. Let's get to regional final. These kids need to learn how to win. But again, it starts now. You're not just going to get to March and just start winning out of nowhere. So baby steps the whole way, doing things the right way, and we'll see what happens. But we always want to be better than the previous year.
Absolutely. And talk about, obviously, the Cranberry Classic is a very special tournament. Every year it is. The competition is the same 3 or 4 teams, but the competition level just continues to get better and better every year.
Yeah, obviously Columbus is, preseason number 3, I want to say. Port's ripped off 15 to 20 wins every year the last 8 years probably. And they're big. They're old now, you can say. They got some vets. Beck is a stud. Tranel's a stud, and Mock has got tremendously better. He's got bigger. And they got their bigs that play well. Columbus, all they have is seniors. Who's played, and they're phenomenal. They're going to have a fantastic year if they can stay healthy. They have a shot at making a deep run to get south there to that city down there, and I don't know, it'll be interesting. It's always a fantastic tournament, the 39th, and it's just a fun weekend for Assumption. It's a great week for basketball. Nakusa has gotten tremendously better. Josh Cole is going to do a great job there. In general, boys' side is always just loaded, and it's great basketball, and it's a good tournament to start the year off with.
One thing that you can speak obviously to this, with the quote-unquote lack of height that you guys have this year, being a little shorter than previous years, and some teams, we've seen it from the girls the last couple of years. I've watched a couple of girls' games already when they have the shorter of the players run and gun this year for the Assumption Royals, and a lot of shots.
Yeah, that's who we are. It's funny, like in warm-ups last night, Coach Conover looks at me and goes, "Paltzy, we're the smallest team every game this year, aren't we?" And yeah, we are. And but we can use it to our advantage. We are run and gun. It's our style of basketball, transition, layups and threes. We got kids that can light it up. I understand we didn't light it up last night, but that's our forte, and we're going to live and die with it. Again, as the year gets on, we're going to be more crisp, and we're going to look a lot better. But yeah, with our height, we have nothing but speed. We've got kids that are super athletic, and we're just going to lean on our studs. Jack Wiedemeyer's going to have to be a good leader for us. JT's going to have to be a good leader for us. Manny, Logan's going to have to shoot the ball for us, and we're going to be just fine. But it'll be a fun year.
I mentioned it yesterday during a couple of broadcasts. The winter sports season, obviously the longest calendar season of the year from November to March. Talk about the attrition and the being able to keep these guys. Obviously, they're here to play basketball, but keep these guys interested, keep these guys motivated through a 26-game season.
Yeah, it's a lot, right? It's long. Back to my comment earlier, you gotta have fun. You start seeing kids not having fun, well, I'm doing something wrong. If that's just having pizza parties, if it's getting the kids together, go bowling, whatever it is, you have to be interested. And one thing that helps, the biggest thing in my opinion, is winning. If kids are winning, they're probably having fun. And that's why I embrace the pressure of winning and getting these kids in the right position to win, and whatever I can to make sure that each kid is doing their role, understanding their role, and then the winning and losing take care of itself. yeah, I am very energized. I enjoy everything I do, and the kids piggyback with me, which is good.
Yeah, and we've seen that the last couple of years. We'll see that maybe a little bit less this year with the knee injury, but the passion that you have correlates and helps out these guys, I assume, on the court to get them to, because they see how much you love them and love what they're trying to do. Just talk a little bit about that side of things, that you show the passion and then they show the passion right back.
Yeah, for sure. I want to get the most out of every kid. And, sometimes yelling at one kid works. Yelling at another kid does not work. They shut down. Being a cheerleader helps, and positive next play mentality is definitely my forte. And I am super competitive and sometimes too competitive, my wife might say. Yeah, I need to be careful this year with my knee, but it's going to be pretty tough. I love the game of basketball. I love this school. I love these kids. And it's just an awesome opportunity for me every year to lead these kids, and I'm not going to take it for granted. I'm not going to sit there and go through the motions ever. That's just not who I am. And as long as the season is, I feel like we just lost in the playoffs to Newman last week, so it will go quick. And when you're having fun, it goes fast. And so I try to enjoy every moment as I can.
And obviously, before we wrap things up here, it's the same spiel every year. We love how crowded or how jam-packed these gyms are. Obviously, you can watch a majority of the games on Zaleski Sports, but for the people that live in Rapids, live in the Merriwood South, Merriwood Conference area, what is, besides the run and gun and having fun, and maybe that's it, but what are people going to see from the Assumption Royals?
Yeah, you're going to see passion. You're going to see kids that work hard. You're going to see kids that want to win. And for us this year, we are going to be running and gunning. We are going to be a fast-paced team. We're going to be playing good basketball teams. Overall, it'll be solid basketball, and people should be proud of us. And if they're not yet, they will be. It's going to be a fun ride. We are young. If you come watch us now, and then you come watch us into January, you will see the jump. And I just recommend, if you're sitting at home, you don't have internet, you can't watch Zaleski, come out and support us. It's not for me. It's not for me at all. It's all for the kids. You guys should come watch the kids. Just like last night, I told the boys before we took the floor, there's 500 people upstairs. All of them are here for you. They're not for me. Go out there and just go have fun. These kids play 4 years of high school basketball and it's over with. So come out and support. They're a great group of kids. You guys will enjoy them.
All right. Thank you, Coach. Appreciate it. That was Assumption Boys head coach Josh Paltz. This is Coach on the Couch here as we wrap things up. Steve Maves, Josh Paltz. Coach, it's going to be a fun year. Thank you for sitting down, and we'll have more Assumption Boys basketball on Zaleski Sports all winter long. Thank you.